Hey everybody, welcome to week 7. A lot to go over this week. We've done a lot this week in regards to babies, so if this is 2 parts, I apologize in advance. I'm pretty sure it's going to be. The very first thing I want to talk about is the ultrasound. I'm sure at this point a lot of you have seen it. If not, go ahead and take a look. It was really amazing. We got to see the heartbeat. Sorry about not really the quality of the video, but like we couldn't really pick the right angle, and then we finally got it, and I turned it off. I should have recorded the whole thing because after that they did the heartbeat, where they saw the heartbeat on the screen, where they saw the actual, I don't know, the lines or whatever. But I didn't realize, that you'd actually be able to see that, so I turned it off, and at that point it wasn't worth starting again. But next time, hopefully it will be better. That was kind of our first go at this. They had no problem with us videotaping it. At least she didn't. That's actually the last time I saw her because she's with my fertility doctor. So hopefully we won't have any problems with, who we go with next. So the heartbeat was 131 beats per minute, which she said was really good. Everything went really good with it. I'm kind of sad that, because I've seen her, the same woman does my ultrasound right in-house. She's done it for, the entire time we've been trying to conceive. So it's kind of sad that we won't be able to see her anymore, but, obviously we're happy about why we're not. After that, we went to the appointment with the doctor, with my fertility doctor, which it went a little less better. We met with him, and literally it was like a 2-minute appointment, which always irritates me with that because I just feel like there was no point in me seeing him at all. Basically, the only thing that I got out of that is that he wants me to continue the permetrium until I hit week 14. The metformin, I'll take the entire pregnancy, and the prenatals, I'll take the entire pregnancy. That's all he volunteered information-wise. Everything else was questions that we asked him, and it just literally, the appointment was 5 minutes long. About my weight, he said, I obviously can't lose weight. I'm shouldn't gain any more than like 10 pounds. The 10 pounds should come at the very end of the pregnancy, obviously when the baby's bigger and developing. He said it was fine to walk, and not to really do anything other than walk, but just walking is fine, and to eat as healthy as possible, which obviously I plan on doing. Then afterwards, he kind of discussed, like I said in my last video, who I would see as an OB. He said, have you given any thought to that? And I said, well, my family recommends somebody. He goes, well, why leave this office? Which I knew he was going to say. And, I didn't really want to tell him that I didn't want to go to that office. I told him, I said, what about a midwife? Am I considered high risk at all because I didn't, because I couldn't get pregnant on my own and all that? He said, no. He said, at this point, everything should, go like a normal pregnancy. I'm not considered any more high risk because of, any medications I'm on or anything like that. Everything's considered fairly normal at this point. And I specifically, asked him that. And so, I said, what about a midwife? He goes, oh, I didn't even think of that. We have a midwife here. And you could tell that he really, really liked her and that he, was really pleased with her. And he goes, so I'll, put on here that they can set you up with an appointment in 3 weeks with the midwife. So I was like, okay, like I said, I could tell that he really, really liked her. And I could tell that he would really recommend her. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll stick with this office. So I go out to the window to pay the copay, and the girl's looking through the schedule to set me up with an appointment because he wanted me to see her in 3 weeks. And she was saying the same things, like, oh, you'll absolutely love her. She's great. She's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And then the manager of the office came over and said, no, she can't see the midwife. She needs to see the doctor. And I'm like, why is that? And the girl says, well, maybe, they can get you in quicker or something. Which it was just, the whole situation was really odd. And then, like, after everything was done and we were leaving, on the window it said the midwife was now accepting new patients and all this. So I was really irritated. So I came home and I did some research. If you guys remember, I told you there's 2 hospitals in my area that are fairly close, and we wanted to go to the one. I could not find any midwives other than in the office that I'm in, which is a big office, that work with that hospital. All the other midwives are at the other hospital. So It doesn't look like I really decided I wanted to use a midwife. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. I called back the office and said, I'd really like to cancel my appointment because I really want to go with a midwife. And she said, well, let me talk to the doctor. Hold on a minute. So she talked to my fertility doctor, and she said, well, the reason is, in this office, the office manager will not allow you, if you're on medication, any medication, to see the midwife. They won't allow it. They make you see a doctor. Which I'm positive is not the way all midwives are or all offices are, because my doctor had said that it was fine. Which that's what's irritating to me, is my doctor, who is a physician who went to school for many, many years to do what he does and has been practicing medicine for probably 20 years, said it was fine, and then it's the office manager, who obviously has less education. I'm sure that she doesn't have a doctorate, said it's not. So that's very frustrating. So I left a message for the doctor to give me a call back, and that's basically what he told me. He said, but you'll love this guy, this doctor that we set you up with and everything. And so I kind of went online to Facebook and asked people in this area, what they thought of this doctor. And I got back mixed reviews. People loved him or hated him, which makes me nervous. If I don't absolutely love him, I'm definitely not going to go to him. And the other thing that's irritating is, because it's such a big office, he is on with like 4 or 5 other doctors. So whoever's on call is who delivers the babies. So I could go to him my entire pregnancy and then totally have someone I've never met deliver my baby, which I'm not too keen on. At least if it was a smaller office and there was like 2 doctors or even 3, at least you could have a chance to visit them all throughout your visits and everything. So I don't know how I left the appointment. I still have the appointment. It's December 7th, I think. And I figure I'm just going to go see what I think. If I don't absolutely love him, I'm just going to find somewhere else to go. There's no doubt in my mind that I absolutely want to be with somebody that, has the same kind of thinking. I really wanted midwife because I want to do everything as natural as possible. And I think that that's how I feel about midwives, is that they're going to be much more, wanting to do things natural versus, pushing you full of medicine and pushing you to do things that you really don't want to do before you're ready to do them. So that was that, and we'll see how that goes. As far as symptoms go, I've had morning sickness. I did finally throw up, which was not fun. Just the one time. It seems to be really quick and heavy. It comes on, and I get really, really sick. And it's just, it wasn't like that before. Like, I'd kind of get queasy or whatever, but now, like, it's really heavy. Like this morning, I had it this morning in bed, and I thought for sure I was going to get sick again. But it's very, very heavy. I also have more heartburn. I'm looking at a list here, sorry. I also have more heartburn than I had before. I'm definitely more thirsty. Like, I can't seem to get enough to drink. And my chest is definitely sore, like right up, like at the top. Like, not really my nipples, but up more at the top of my breasts are sore. But that's pretty much it. The next thing, I might be able to make this one video. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is we went ahead and did the tour of the hospital that we thought we were going to go to. And I still don't know that we're not, but it definitely gave us some things to think about. I wasn't sure if we'd do a tour of that other hospital, but I think we're definitely going to at this point. Some of the negative things is there's no NIC unit, which I didn't know. I didn't know that. The hospital that's closest to us is the one with the NIC unit. So if anything happens after you give birth and they have to go to the NIC unit, they have to be transported from one hospital to the other, which it's not far, but still. It's, like I said, like probably a mile difference or so. And that scares me a little bit because obviously, generally you don't know there's a problem until there is one. And then, so what would happen is they transfer the baby, and then that staff comes and meets with you, and like they get paperwork to transfer you, so like you don't go at the same time. It's just, I don't know, it seems kind of like I didn't know that, and that's definitely something to think about. We toured the rooms and everything. The rooms look nice. You stay in the same room the entire time. When you first check in, you labor and deliver in that room. And the rooms are big. They have whirlpool tubs in them. Really nice. The only other bad thing about staying in that same room is that the bed that you're on is a delivery bed, so it's like 2 parts. The bottom part will come off when you're laboring or when you're delivering, and then they put it back on and put a wedge there when you stay in it for the rest of the time. And it's just a really small bed, and it does not look comfortable at all. And I actually had a friend that delivered at that hospital, and she said the beds were horrible. So that's the only thing. Versus the other hospital here, you deliver in one room and then you go to like another room afterwards, where you're in a regular hospital bed, which is a little bit bigger. And my concern is just that, especially once I'm trying to nurse and everything, I think I'll want the room. So that, that makes me a little nervous. The other nice thing about it, the hospital that we're thinking about going to, is that the one we did the tour at, every time a baby's born, they have a button that you press, and they play a lullaby throughout the whole hospital to show that someone's been born, and that's just kind of nice. They did give us some information right here that I'm going to look at. You know what I forgot to show you guys is the ultrasound. Sorry. Here's the ultrasound, just a still pack. And right there is the baby, the fetus. So that was interesting. I saw that laying here. Sorry. But they gave us some information from the hospital to just go over. Just some different things. They do different birthing classes and things like that. They have a DVD you can watch. We're definitely going to take some of the birthing classes. She told me, she said some of the girls I was doing the tour with, they were due in February. And she goes, I'm sure at this point you guys have already done them. She goes, but for you, she said, definitely sign up. She says, because they get full. People come in here, they're like, 5 or 6 months pregnant, and they can't get in a class. So she said, call and sign up for them. So I plan to do that as soon as I decide which hospital I'm going to go to, because it's hospital specific. So we have to decide that. The other hospital doesn't do tours, like group tours. Like you just come, I think I said this before, you just come and they'll take you around. And I guess we're definitely going to have to do that, because the NICU really makes me nervous. Like I really think that that's something that, should have a big influence on our decision. Now at the hospital that we wanted to go, they do certain things there. Like they said, if the baby needs oxygen or needs antibiotics, they can do them right there. If they need to be put under the heat lamps is not the right word. Like whatever the heck those things are where they need to be heated, they can do that there. So they can do some stuff that would probably normally be done on NICU, but if there's any serious problems, they have to transfer them. Which, with anything that goes wrong, anytime with anything, when you're at a hospital, it's better than being in an ambulance. So that just makes me a little bit nervous. So we have to talk about that and see what we think. But I'm going to go ahead and actually, I'm not going to make it in one video. Sorry. So I'm going to close this here and start the next video. Sorry, guys.